That's really amazing to me. If you ponder the significance of all that, that God, though he's considered a spirit, he's not corporeal, he doesn't have a physical body according to many different religions. Though he can possess bodies, he can possess bodies of animals, humans, or inanimate objects even, rocks, stones, wood. I mean, he's not the rocks or stones or in of themselves, but he can possess them because God is spirit. Most spirit beings, entities, devils, demons, or what have you, angels, they can possess inanimate objects as well, and even animate objects, human beings, insects, animals. The ancients knew that very well. That's why they recognized them. And they made shrines and they made statues and they would worship them. And they worshipped animals. They called it pantheism. And they still do that in many cultures. It's not just thousands of years ago and in the ancient religions, but they still carry on the old ways. I presume with some modifications because more has been learned over the years. And science has given us greater understanding of how things really are, at least in the physical realm. Science is still probably inquiring into the non-physical realms, non-observable phenomenon, though it manifests, in physical form at times. But it's really still hard to discern between what is physical and what is spiritual, even among secularists who just kind of look at it from a natural viewpoint, a Darwinian mechanistic sight. But the amazing thing to me is that because God is spirit, you wonder, well, how can he know what's going on if he doesn't have a physical brain or physical ears like these, physical eyes, and a physical nose that he can smell, and a mouth that he can eat? How does he know? Or feelings that he can feel? How does God know if he's a spirit? How can he know? How can he know what's going on? Because it talks about in these holy scriptures written by the ancients, not just Judeo-Christian belief, but even in Hinduism and other ancient beliefs, Egyptian beliefs, Islam. They talk about God being able to know what's going on. He can see without having physical eyes. He can hear without having ears. I can't fathom that, because we know that you have to have, in the physical realm, in the natural realm, in the neo-Darwinian model, you have to develop, in order to see, you have to develop sight through physical eyeballs and optic nerves connecting to your brain. And you have to have an auditorial system and a sense of smell, a sense of hearing, sense of touch. These are all sensory devices. They're kind of electronic. It's not just monologue. We're digital, and we were created monologue and digital. Our whole genetic makeup is digital. It's a digital code before we even made computers. But so that's proof of intelligent design right there. But God's able to hear without having speakers and a sound system. He's able to see without having cameras and video cameras or Kodak cameras or whatever. He's able to smell without having some kind of a sense of, he can smell odors without a nose. He can taste. I'm assuming he can taste without having a tongue and taste buds. But God is spirit. He's up, and it's everybody looks up there for God up in the skies. But if you look at it, just not even scientifically, naturally. That doesn't make any sense to just look up. I think it's just to give you the sense that God is higher than ourselves. But God is everywhere, simultaneously. He exists outside of everything that you can see. He exists outside of the physical senses, which is the whole universe. The planets, the stars, black matter, if it exists, whatever has physical properties. He exists outside of that. But he also, he says he fills heaven and earth. So if David, one of the monarchs of ancient Israel, said that if he descended into hell, God was there. So you can't really escape God. He's in the physical realm and the eternal realm. He's in matter and he's outside of matter. Even though he created matter, he's not matter itself, but because God is spirit. He's like everywhere simultaneously. They talk about particles, anatomic structures affecting one another, no matter where they're at in the universe. It's called entanglement theory. One atom over here will affect an atom way out there, billions of light years away. They have a relationship with each other. Well, God is even greater than entanglement theory. He can. It's not just one object moving another object. He can be both. He can be inside of both those objects at the same time. That's the power of having being a spirit being. Is you're not localized. You're not over here and over there. That's the fallacy of ancient gods. Is their gods were localized. The god of the mountains, the god of the snow, the god of the hills, the god of the underworlds, god of the skies, god of water. They localized all their deities, but the real true God has no locality. He's not just over there and over here. He's everywhere simultaneously at the same time. That's why there's no timeline in the eternal realm. There's no from point A to point B. There's no A, B, C, D. There's not, I don't even know if there's a linear, if it's linear, like, you have to go from point A to point Z. It's like outside of timeline. And it covers all the timeline. It's hard to grasp because we're not, even though we're eternal, we are eternal creatures, we're still exist in a three-dimensional universe. So we depended on our physical senses to discern reality. Even though some of the people in the ancient, like Hinduism and such, they teach that you have to try to go beyond the physical senses to think more in terms of eternal reality. But yeah, pretty cool.